Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the Wii version of Pikmin on day 7. We are making our first stop to the 4th area of Pikmin 1, that being the Distant Spring, which is going to require much usage of our lovely little blue friends here. We're gonna need them a lot. It's going to be absolutely required that we use blue Pikmin in this area. No questions asked. Because there's just a lot of water everywhere, and every other type of Pikmin can drown pretty easily in this area. So, you know, it's kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem, honestly. And there's not really going to be any usage for red Pikmin in this area, unless we really need some, like, attack power to take down big enemies, but for the most part, the other Pikmin can handle that no problem. Much like they are handling things no problem by getting the repair-type bolt, this robotic marvel can fix just about anything in the ship that's broken. That's good, because I get terribly bored of fixing little glitches. Gotta give Olimar a break somewhere. So the repair-type bolt seems like it's a very handy thing to get. What is not handy, though, are Wollywogs. Because Wollywogs are terrible. And will always be terrible. And yellow Wollywogs somehow manage to be even more terrible than their counterparts in the Forest Navel. Just because they're just sometimes the strategy of swarming them and weighing them down just doesn't work, and it's pretty awful. And hey, we're making good progress. We already got a ship part back. Awesome. The repair-type bolt. This looks like an ordinary bolt, but it's actually a repair robot. I have now recovered 20 of 30 parts. If I can find just 9 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Yeah, basically, the vast majority of the rest of the parts we're getting are going to be here in the Distant Spring. There's only one part left that is not in this area. Also, some of our Pikmin wandered off with a corpse, which is fine. It was close enough to the water, so they managed to just walk back with it. While anything that's on the land, they have to go over the bridge with. They won't go in the water. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just the way it is. Also, bull bears are here. Bull bears are also pretty terrible. They can very easily eat large batches of Pikmin, like no problem. So, you really gotta watch out for them. If they decide to just not take damage, which sometimes they do, they will just start gobbling down Pikmin, no problem, and that's the biggest risk with swarming them, and Bulbarbs too. It's risky to swarm Bulbarbs because there are those times where they will just not take damage and just start eating your Pikmin. But honestly, the swarming strategy just works the best unless you're gonna force feed them bomb rocks, which is, you know, completely viable. If not a little on the cruel side, because usually that requires your Pikmin to be eaten. But, yeah. We are going to be doing more of that, by the way. Pikmin sacrificing with bomb rocks is just too effective of a strategy to ignore. I know it sounds really mean, but it's just true. We actually can even technically use bomb rocks to take care of Wollywogs, because we can sort of trick them into jumping on the bomb rocks, and that'll deal damage. Also, hi there, Smoky Prog Egg. You're a nightmare to deal with, so we're not going to be dealing with you right now. Oh dear. Anyone who's played Pikmin 1 and has decided to tempt fate and fight that thing knows what I'm talking about. Smoky Prog is not a nice enemy. And something also important to mention is that the Smoky Prog only appears within the first 10 days, I believe, of Pikmin. You have to get to the Distant Spring early in order to have, like, a chance at seeing the Smoky Frog at all. If you come later in the game, he won't be here. Which I guess is sort of a favor, because sometimes you can... Oh! Hold on a second. We found the interstellar radio. Not only does it emit a constant SOS signal, but it broadcasts voices from space that will brighten up my moments of boredom. The dolphin, while comfortable, becomes quite a lonely place in the depths of the night. But yeah, the Smoky Frog only appears towards the beginning days of the game, and if you get here too late in the game, you won't be able to see it. And, you don't necessarily have to do anything to trigger the Smoky Frog from showing up. You just need to get close to the egg. And, sometimes just tempting fate and wandering too close to the egg will just trigger the process of the egg hatching, and the Smoky Frog comes out and ruins your day by, using its ghostly, gaseous body to smother your Pikmin to death. It's not a fun sound, that's for sure. So, yeah, there's no really reason to fight the Smoky Frog when you're just going for speed, so, not gonna be dealing with him, that's for sure. But yes, I guess that's enough talking about enemies that we're not going to be fighting. We also just fought the puffy blowhog that was floating around. There's going to be a few more of them around this area too. And generally also kind of obnoxious to deal with. This whole area of the game is just full of kind of obnoxious enemies. And there's a lot of them too, which makes getting anything done quickly kind of a task. Oh, we also found the massage machine. Put this right down in the lower back area and let it go to work. I can't wait until I get it installed again, as my lower lumbar region has been paining me ever since the crash. Sweet relief. But yeah, between yellow Wollywogs, bull bears, puffy blowhogs, and several other enemies, it's just not a good time in this area. The distant spring is very big, first of all. There's a lot of ground to cover here, and there's a lot of ship parts to get here. So, it's just a matter of trying to take down only the enemies you absolutely have to, and trying to take them out as quickly as possible to save as much time as possible. It's just... Otherwise, you can't get anything done here. You really can't. It's the main reason I saved the distant spring for last and tried to save the most time for the distant spring. We're going to be spending 3 days here, and it's going to be 3 days that we're going to be using up most of the time with. Oh, hello there. The interstellar radio made it back. Let's read a little more about this baby. Interstellar radio. This part will send out a daily SOS signal. I have so little time remaining, though, that I have no option but to continue my search rather than waiting for the rescue party. Having to collect every part is a bit overwhelming, but I get the impression not all parts are needed to fly the ship. I have now recovered 21 of 30 parts. If I can just find 8 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. The distant spring also really likes to hammer in the fact that you don't need all 30 parts in order to technically finish the game, but it still doesn't really clue you in onto what parts are optional, so it's kind of a guessing game if you're not familiar with the first Pikmin at all. Also, shearwigs. They're still a problem, especially when you're fighting them around a bridge and the Pikmin insist on building the bridge instead of fighting the shearwigs. Massage machine! I've been walking around so much lately, I'm really looking forward to using this. I have now recovered 22 of 30 parts. If I can find just 7 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Also nice. The massage machine, by the way, is one of the optional parts. You don't need it in order to finish the game at all. Also, this guy, Yellow Wollywog, deciding to get in my business and eyeing my Pikmin. He is just going to be in a very unfortunate area, and I do my best to try and lead him away so my Pikmin can build their bridge in peace. We'll see how that goes, though. Day is about halfway done. Seems that there's a puffy blowhog bothering our Pikmin back at camp, so we should probably take care of him best we can. Which, is a problem, because there's still a few bull bears kinda hanging out. Another problem with the Distant Spring is that this area is a bit crowded at first. Enemies will be bunched together like that. Like, you've got the puffy blowhog flying around right next to some bull bears. Not just in that area, but in a different part of the stage as well. So, it becomes a matter of trying to pick your battles carefully, which is not always a reasonable thing to request. And yeah, bull bear just not taking damage. Surprisingly, only ate a couple Pikmin and then landed on a couple more. Unfortunate, but, you know, could have gone worse. But yeah, it's just... This whole area is so just stuffed full of hard-to-deal-with enemies, and they're really kind of bunched together at points, and it's just problematic. The Distant Spring is the one area of the game where I am not entirely confident in my abilities to do it quickly, just because of all the factors involved. I've saved 3 days, put aside 3 days for this area for that very reason. It does have the most ship parts, too, so it's just an issue overall. And also, trying to lead non-blue Pikmin around here, as painfully demonstrated here, is also a problem. Just trying to get them over bridges and things like that. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work very well. But we need to lead our yellows over here to grab us some bomb rocks. Yes, we need to try knocking down some gates and such while our Pikmin are busy, while our blue Pikmin are busy doing other things. Also, sometimes the yellows just don't pick up the bomb rocks. I don't know why. Just sometimes they ignore them and refuse to pick them up. It's just kind of weird. An effective strategy to use while you're trying to cross bridges and narrow gaps is to start directing your Pikmin in, start directing them, like, behind you. Because for a brief time, your Pikmin will sort of consolidate themselves into a smaller group. So it helps you squeeze large numbers of Pikmins through narrow areas. Still not always recommended in certain cases, but it does help out. Also, time for lunch. Which, almost doesn't work out. Those two Pikmin got caught in the explosion there, so they didn't get to feed their bombs to the bull bear, but the bull bear was still close enough for the bombs to explode on him, so... Yay for victories, I guess? Small victories. But that bull bear was guarding some more bomb rocks, which we can continue to use to knock down some gates and such. And it's at this point where I realize the yellow Wollywog made it over to the bridge, and it is just preventing the bridge from being completed. And I really don't know what's going on right here, right now. It's just, my Pikmin somehow got underneath the bridge. The Wollywog is trying to attack them and can't, and he's been gradually taking damage from like 1 or 2 Pikmin attacking him at this point. And it's just a matter of the blue Pikmin, they want to build that bridge so badly, and they'll refuse to attack the Wollywog, and they'll just start building the bridge instead. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned at some point that the AI for the Pikmin in the Wii version of the game is much better than the AI for the Pikmin in the GameCube version, because they're less sporadic, but they're still a bit sporadic, so it's still not a great thing to deal with all the time, honestly. But the day is winding down. We're not going to be getting any more ship parts back today, and yeah, it's those sort of annoyances that do make things tricky in the distant spring. I thought briefly about using my bomb rocks here to try and take out some more Wollywogs, but I just had to abandon all hope of that and try and get my Pikmin back as soon as possible. There are 5 Pikmin unaccounted for, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones buried at camp. And that means we do have all vulnerable Pikmin with us, theoretically. The countdown hits 0, and day 7 is concluded. Still a bit of a messy day, though, especially with that yellow Wollywog deciding to interrupt things. That bridge probably would have been built a lot faster if he hadn't decided to come join the party and try and build it for us, I guess. Maybe that's why he was jumping on the bridge. He wanted to build the bridge. The Pikmin were having all the fun, and he felt left out. Or maybe he's just a jerk, I don't know. 7 days since impact. There appears to be a large cluster of parts here. If my calculations are correct, I should be able to recover virtually all my missing ship parts, but not quite all of them. Unfortunately, there still seem to be some pieces that remain unaccounted for. I must find 7 more parts to further increase the dolphin's range. And find 7 more parts we shall find over the next couple days. We shall do that, Olimar, we shall. We get to see our Pikmin totals for the day. Sprouted 16 Pikmin, lost 22 in battle. We're gonna be losing a lot of Pikmin in battle around these days, I think. If today is any kind of indication of that, there's gonna be some more lost Pikmin, I'd say. But yeah, we did gather a few more ship parts. We've got 8 parts to go, and we've got 3 more days after this to get them. I think we can do it. Until next time, though, this is your good friend Sparky signing off for now, and I'll catch you later.